This is going to be one of those weird vlogs today that doesn't really have a story in its own right, more it picks up a couple of the ongoing story threads that we've been working on over the last couple of weeks and gives you little updates on each of them. So if you're looking for a whole complete tale, try yesterday or tomorrow. But there's stuff we need to talk about. Firstly then, some broken camera news, and we are getting hopefully a little bit closer to the camera getting repaired. I'm using it now, the screen is hanging off. I have ordered some gaffer tape from Amazon on the instructions of Lee McElwain. I read about 4 articles on the differences between gaffer tape and duct tape this morning to work out if he was just saying gaffer tape because gaffer tape is what you say, or if there's something I specifically want about gaffer tape. Oh, what an interesting morning I had. Apparently though, gaffer tape doesn't leave a sticky residue, duct tape will. So I've ordered actual, genuine gaffer tape in the hope that that will get the camera through the next week or so. It will get me through Comic-Con at the weekend, and it will get me to the point where my new screw arrives. And I do have a screw on its way to me. Now, this could well be the lead-in to a story of a company that have wronged me over the course of the next week or so, because I think this is the company that I mentioned yesterday, where I just found them online, filled in their inquiry form, and then afterwards thought about it and thought, ooh, that's a bit of a iffy looking website. I've just given them a lot of information. Well, I've now given them money. They've identified the missing screw. It's going to cost me 12 quid. They're also going to provide me with an appropriate screwdriver to allow me to fit it myself. It will take about 7 to 10 days apparently for it to come through from Canon, and then I should be able to just fix it myself. I think it is just a case of screwing the back on. So fingers crossed, the gaffer tape holds until then, the screw arrives with screwdriver, I can fix it and it'll all be as good as new. I have got Canon themselves saying, oh, send it back to us, it'll only take 3 weeks, so that's there as a backup option if neither of those work. But I really don't want to be out without the camera for 3 weeks. You saw how terrible the video quality was for the minute or so of yesterday's vlog that was done on my phone, and the audio quality particularly was horrific. I can't imagine doing the vlog on my phone for 3 weeks. I've still got the old video camera that I used to use for Football Manager videos, but the microphone on it's basically non-existent, and it's just not very good camera. So fingers crossed this company sorted me out. They're called First Aid Repairs. Let's give them a shout out in the hope that they'll be awesome. firstaidrepairs.co.uk. I'm sending them 12 quid. They're sending me back a screw and a screwdriver. So let's hope that that's just what the doctor ordered and we have a magical solution to a problem. Talking of doctors, I'm still ill. You can probably see by the fact that my nose is red, my eyes are blotchy, I'm sniffling. I'm not gonna go. I feel a little bit better than I did last night. I'm hoping I should be able to throw a Football Manager video together this evening, but I just feel rough, and I don't think I've got diabetes, which some of you said in the comments yesterday that I might have diabetes, and that's why I was getting ill so often. If I've got diabetes, so has Anna, so have all the kids. I think it is just like I was saying, that because we're exposed to 4 different schools between the 5 of us, we're just constantly incubating any kind of bug that anybody gets ever. Then we pass it all around between ourselves. It gets passed back and forth between us and their mum's house as well, where there's a whole bunch more kids and more schools that we've got access to. And it just means that at any one time, out of the 5 of us who live in my house, I think there's 7 who live with their mother, and they're there half the time. So out of those 12 people, at any one time, there is always, without fail, at least one person who's ill. And we just sort of all pass it round between the 12 of us, which isn't ideal, but fingers crossed it won't be a bad one this time. And then finally, well, you may be asking yourself 5 minutes into this video, why am I stood on a bridge over a river? There is a method to the madness. There is a reason that I'm stood here. I have been having a lot of frustration today with social services, NHS, as usual. We're not going to get too bogged down in the details, so I'm still waiting for a reply from them. But I did want to illustrate for you how ridiculous the situation we find ourselves in is, because this river that you can see here behind me, this river here, that's the border between Lincolnshire and Cambridgeshire. We live a 5-minute walk in that direction on the Lincolnshire side. Where I'm stood right now, I guess we're in no man's land. If I walk to just here, I'm in Cambridgeshire. Peterborough, about 8 miles that way. What that means is, if we lived here, so over here on the Cambridgeshire side, where my car is currently parked, brilliantly, I might add, as usual, if we lived over here, he'd be able to access Peterborough Hospital. He'd have the choice of one of 2 different autistic schools in Peterborough who specialise in kids just like him, rather than it just being a generic special needs school like he's at the moment. There's more money to spend in a smaller county, and he would have had the help that he needs by now. I know, I have spoken to people who live in Cambridgeshire who have autistic children who haven't had to go through anywhere near the amount of hassle we've had to go through to get the help that their kids need. But because we live over that side of the river, we don't get that. We can't go to Peterborough Hospital. We have to go to Grantham or Boston or Lincoln. It's the second biggest county in the UK and has major funding problems. So we have the ridiculous situation that we've talked about before, where they only have child mental health services available for 1 afternoon a month, and that's in Boston, which we can't get to very easily because it only happens on a Wednesday afternoon when I'm at work. Social services is massively stretched. When the social worker comes down, she's coming down from Lincoln. When CAMs come to us, they're coming from Boston. If we were here, if we lived this side of the river where I'm standing now, all of those people would be coming from Peterborough. It's Peterborough City Council, rather than over there, which is some stupid Lincolnshire County Council thing, I think. But it's just so incredibly frustrating. It's wrong. We should all have, if they're going to do this whole NHS thing, which the longer I bang my head against the brick wall with it as a service, the more I wonder if there might be a better way. I'm not saying privatisation is the solution, because I don't think it is. But I also don't think the NHS in its current form is the solution either. But if they're going to do this NHS thing as an idealistic free healthcare at the point of access, blah 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 blah, then it shouldn't matter whether I live here or there. I should be able to see a doctor in the same amount of time, the same sort of distance from my house. I should have access to the same services. And I don't. And it's stupid. And the really, really stupid thing, and the thing that puts the icing on the cake, the reason we live that side of the river, is because that's where my kids go to school. That's where their mother lives. So if we were to move over here, they wouldn't be in the catchment area for those schools anymore. So they'd have to move school to, even though the school itself is a 90-second walk that way. You basically walk behind that pub, keep walking, you hit the secondary school. I could sprint there in less than 2 minutes, and I'm not a fast sprinter. But if we lived here, this side of the river, we're not in the catchment area for there anymore. The next school is that way on the Cambridgeshire side, and it's about 4 miles away. So rather than be able to walk to school, they'd have to get the bus. There's no way to win, and it's just stupid. And I'm not coming to a solution. I'm just having a little bit of a whinge because I've whinged at everyone else today. So I thought I'd let you all know that sometimes, even when I'm not moaning about it on the vlog, that doesn't mean I'm not moaning about it in general. Kev has a rant sometimes. You lot are basically my therapists at times like this. I think it's just because I'm ill and I'm still annoyed about the camera breaking. I'm really annoyed at the fact that because of this stupid system and these stupid imaginary borders, because I don't know if you noticed, walking over that bridge that I was just walking back and forth across, there wasn't a magic invisible wall there. I didn't have to pay a toll, I didn't have to ask permission. I could just walk from one side of the river to the other and then choose which side I wanted to stand on. But you don't get that kind of choice when it comes to where you put your house if you want access to the services that are this side. I want to be able to live over there, have the kids go to school over there, but have access to the hospitals and stuff that are over here. I just don't think that's too much to ask. But who am I? Perhaps I'm an idiot. Let me know down in the comments. It might just be we're in a unique geographical place where our postcode has, we're a Peterborough postcode, our address has Peterborough in it. We don't live in Peterborough, we live in Lincolnshire. Peterborough's in Cambridgeshire. We are in a stupid geographical area. But are there any similar situations like this near you? Similar examples of this going on? I am reaching the point now, and I said as much in an email to the social worker today, I am getting to the point where I'm maybe this far away from starting to contact the media about the brick walls that we're banging ourselves up against with Sproglet, whether that be writing to newspapers or TV stations or sending them videos that I've prepared for them or whatever it might be. I need to get an idea if this is just a problem that's unique to us or a problem that's going on all over the country, and if it is one that's all over the country, I think Kev might be ready for a crusade. So I've got all that off my chest. I'm going to sit and enjoy the scenery next to the river for a minute and then head home and find some cold and flu medication. Thanks for watching.